Hello, all. It is Darshell Lynette, and I am so happy to see you all, interact with you all once again on the pod here. Welcome. I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday, spending time with friends and family or by yourself, whichever you needed to do. Whatever you needed, I hope you got that. I usually do get to spend time with my family and friends around the holidays, be it Thanksgiving or Christmas, which I am each year not calling it Thanksgiving anymore for the most part. I usually say Giving Thanks Day, celebrating my family day, or just call it a family day, whatever the case may be, just because of traditionally what it came from. I know that the meaning can be changed and stuff like that, but to honor those that were already here, and it being, coined and termed in regards to that, I would prefer not to call it that. So, Giving Thanks Day, but I give thanks every day as much as I possibly can for all of my friends and family. So, however you choose to celebrate the holidays, I hope you had a wonderful time. I had some thoughts. I was asked to do an interview for a podcast that will be premiering maybe next month or so. And I'll share it obviously where everybody can check it out and let me know what you think. But it made me reflect on some of the things that I actually had written down, and I didn't realize they were like farther back than I thought. This was like back in 2015, so we talking about at this point 7 years ago, when I had these thoughts, and how much some things have changed and how much some things have actually stayed the same. So I just want to share some of that with y'all. Y'all know, like I said, with the whole reason behind me starting the podcast over again was originally about losing my son, but because it's not that focused anymore, because of just, like I said before, it's a lot to handle and talk about, where it dredges up a lot of feelings. So I have to kind of navigate that in a way where it is beneficial for you and for I. So, just reflecting on some things, and I had actually had thought about, I wrote down some stuff back in 2015, and I'm sorry, y'all, I'm looking down, I'm trying to look at my notes. Yeah, this was like October 23rd of 2015, so like literally almost a year, 7 years and a month to the day that I wrote these things down. And I was doing a 30 days of writing journal, so I could just kind of 30 days straight write down my thoughts at that point in time and what was happening in my life. And this is actually prior to me losing my son, so my mindset was a little different than that, which is amazing. But some things I still believe. So like I was talking about, and when the reason why I brought up the interview that I was doing, because some of the questions that I was asked was actually, it reflected, is amazingly enough, about what I wrote like 7 years ago. And so I talked about, being in the social verse era or whatnot, and how you're perceived online, kind of, and how you are in real life. And amazingly enough, the interviewer actually stated that, the way that they perceived me online is how I was actually in the interview. And that was, they appreciated that. And I was like, I'm glad, and I appreciated that feedback, because I always want to be perceived as I actually am. I know that some people's persona in the social verse is completely different than how they are in real life. They be catfishing us, y'all, and I don't want ever to be that way. I want it to always be how I am in real life. I want you to see me online as I am in real life. I want to be able to share experiences the way that I really am. I'm not out here acting like I got, 100K in the bank or whatever, flossing and showing all of this different type of stuff and then in real life, about to be homeless because I can't pay bills or something like that. I don't ever want to be be that person, or even doing anything like that. And that's not really my, characteristics to do that anyway. But everything that I show online, I want you to know that it is a part of my life. Whatever, whatever I'm doing at that point, and whatever I choose to post is something, is a part of my life. It's real. So just looking at that, it made me appreciate, how, again, things have kind of changed, but things are also have stayed the same as well. And I just wanted to actually, encourage people to look at yourself as you are perceived online, and then how you are actually in reality, and make sure that you are not creating an avatar that is not who you really are in real life. So be aware of that. Just be more self-aware. For me, it's making me like, with social verse and stuff like that, as much as I love it, there's a lot of times, like I've said before, that I know how to detach and remove myself from it, because it's a lot that can be, it just can be a lot. And so for me, in the space that I am now, where I'm more self-aware and trying to be more self-aware of things that I ingest mentally and spiritually and stuff like that. Some things it doesn't even affect me at all to watch or listen to or whatnot, because I know that's not a part of me. And I might be listening or watching something just to get some insight on somebody else's perspective. But I also don't look at like a whole bunch of negativity all the time. I try to make sure that I am focusing on positivity, giving self-care, self-love, and stuff like that, because that's where I'm at in my life. And so I encourage you to do that as well. And me, I'm more so, I love interacting and meeting people through the internet and all of that, but I also still enjoy in-person meeting and physical interactions and stuff like that with people. That is more who I am, because that's what I grew up in. I didn't grow up in having to do this online. So I know it's a space for it, but it's not the space that I want to live in all the time. So yeah. And I just want to also, as I stated before, be honest about where you really are. And it's okay if you don't have, the 100K in the bank or whatever, or if you don't have the Gucci or Louis or whatever, you ain't, rocking, red bottoms and such. It's not like you have to have that to be somebody. You are uniquely you, and the world needs you, not a reprocessed version of somebody else. So hopefully that'll settle with you, and we'll really start reflecting on those great things about ourselves. Also, the Giving of Thanks Day, when I spend time with my family and friends, I also, like I said, because of the self-awareness that I'm, going through a lot of, it made me realize how much I need my family and friends, and need to see them physically in person, every now and then. I don't have to be around them all the time. I'm not a person like that, but I do need to be in their space and feel them in their energy and all of that stuff. I need that to survive. My soul literally needs that. I actually am a member of a church online, and my church is actually in Chicago, based out of Chicago. And so this month, we had our church anniversary, 17 years, and I was in Chicago and was able to meet some of them for the first time since I've joined, because we haven't had in-person service since the pandemic. And so I was like, I got there and I was so just overwhelmed with emotion, and I just wanted to cry and just hug everybody and stuff like that, and just sit in that, because that's something, again, that I know I need. I love my church. I love it that I'm online and stuff like that, that I can actually participate in all of that. But I also know that there are times that I need to be physically in their presence. And even if that means, like, once a quarter, I'm able to just go visit them and stuff like that, that's something that I know and I'm purposed in my heart and in my mind that I'm going to do, because it's something that I need, just to be able to have that connection. I It's almost indescribable and unexplainable, the way, and a lot of it has to do with me growing up, and everybody, or most of you know, if you follow me, I have a big family. So I got 8 brothers and sisters. And so with that, growing up with that many people around you all the time and experiencing all of those different personalities and emotions and stuff at different times or whatever, it enhances you, and gives you a lot of different, just outlooks and stuff like that, or at least it did me. And so with that, I know, like I said, it's something that I actually need, which also I have recognized as I'm becoming more self-aware, why I need quality time as one of the attributes of, love languages and such. Learning more about myself, I know, and I've always said, like, quality time is probably one of my top love languages, and physical touch is probably the second one of the second ones or whatever. And even though in that book there was only like 5 love languages listed, I definitely know and agree that there are well more than 5. But I think those kind of are some of the base languages that we can say of love or whatever. And those 2 things are like my top: quality time and physical touch. I'm just like, I sometimes it's crazy, because sometimes I don't want people around me, but the quality time, just being in somebody's presence and being able to, just talk to them and stuff like that and communicate, is, like I said, for me, it feeds me in a way that I can't even explain. So I appreciate the Giving of Thanks Day, where I'm able to spend time with friends and family and stuff like that. And even if I can only talk to them on the phone and not be able to physically be in their presence, at least I can get that time with them. So I'm very appreciative of that. So another thing, when I was doing this interview, was bringing up about reparations, and it made me think about some thoughts that I wrote down, like I said, back in 2015, about choosing to be Black. And at the time, I wrote down, like, at the time, I still believe that in reparations, because everything that our people and our ancestors have endured, I always look at the fact that somehow our society, America, has always found a way to give aid and help other people that are not here in America, but Black people that are asking for reparations for what happened to their ancestors and stuff like that. It's always, well, we can't find the money, or we don't know how to equate that into finances. Should it be finances? Should be we giving you something else? And some people like, well, if we give it to them, they just gonna throw it away or whatever. They're not gonna do. It doesn't matter what we decide to do with what we are owed. Somebody can win the lottery. You can't tell them how to spend their money. Somebody can inherit land. If they decide they want to sell it, they can sell it. If they decide they want to build a farm on it, they can do that. If they decide they just want to build a house and have a house that they can keep in their generation, they can do that as well. But you can't try to say, well, they shouldn't be given this because this is what they're going to do with it. That has nothing to do with it. I absolutely agree 1,000% that we should be given reparations. And let us live. However we want to decide to spend whatever is given to us, then let us do it and keep it pushing. But let it be fair. Let it be something that you know is going to actually help us, because everything that was done to our ancestors is still affecting us now in 2022. We are still trying to build generational wealth. We're still trying to, some of us learn about financial literacy and being better in like just different areas that we were not taught when we were younger. Some of us still don't have true family history because some of our actual ancestors are no longer with us. Like my grandparents, all four of my grandparents were deceased by by 2010 is when my last grandparent passed away. My grandfather, one of them passed away when I was in high school. Another one passed away. My grandmother passed away shortly. She passed away when I was pregnant with my daughter. My daughter's supposed to be 25. So just to let you know that. So even with that, I don't have a lot of people that I can ask about my history and all of that different type of stuff. So with that, I can't reference necessarily all of the information that I need, and was not able to get all of the information as far as building generational wealth, because most of them were gone by the time I actually was able to even understand what that meant. So again, I definitely agree that reparations should be something that we should be afforded, and it shouldn't take all of this bickering back and forth for it to be done. It just needs to be done and we should be able to move forward. As far as choosing to be Black, so back in 2015, I actually said that I would not choose to be Black and live in America back in 2015. My thoughts have actually changed about that. I do, and from going on, I don't know when I actually changed my thought, but I can't say that I never thought that I wanted to be Black. I think when I said that, I believe I was meaning like because of the treatment that we receive here in America, that I would not choose to be Black and live in America because of our treatment. But it's pretty much knowing now what I've seen. It's pretty much around the globe. You know, we just, for whatever reason, have had these issues where people just dislike us. And I mean, at the end of the day, I was born where I was born. I am who I am. I can't change my skin color, and I don't want to. I love being a Black woman. I love me, how I look, what I represent, and what I am going to be as I get older, and the legacy that I know that I'm leaving and stuff like that. So I'm grateful that I am who I am, and excited about continuously celebrating who I am. Back in 2015, these are 10 interesting things about me from 2015, and then I'll let you know if this is still kind of the same. So some of these is never going to change because this is what happened in my past. So 10 things. I have been engaged 3 times. I have never been married. Yes, I have been engaged 3 times, but never been married. The story behind that, time, another day, whatever. But yes, so if I didn't have to worry about money, I would sing and travel for the rest of my life. I would say that would probably still be the thing. I love to sing, have always loved to sing, and probably will always love to sing. And I love to travel as well because I love to see different places that I've never experienced before. So that is still true to this day, 2022. If I could get paid and live singing and traveling and be able to be comfortable, and I'm not saying doing it struggling or whatever, I would do that. I love history and mythology. I do. Mythology, I've kind of like, that's been expanded a little bit more, but I love them all. Like I love a lot of different things, but those are two things I do still enjoy. I would rather read a book that was made into a movie. So I think there was something that actually, a movie that had been done at that point in time, I think that I was referencing. I'm just trying to, like I said, y'all, this was from 2015, so I'm trying to remember what was going on at that time when I actually wrote these out. But I think there was a movie that had been released that left off a lot of stuff because I had read the book. And I was like, this is the main reason why. And so thinking about that, I still love to read books. And I do enjoy reading books that are made into movies because I can kind of most of the time get to the origin of why something is happening in the movie, and it'll make more sense for me. With most movies, because they're like 2.5, 3 hours, maybe like max 3 hours is like when you get the Marvel movies and stuff like that. But most movies are like 2.5 hours or whatever, and you're trying to get like the history behind different stuff, the meanings, and like the characters. You're trying to get all of this stuff packed into those 2 hours, and most of the time it's pretty difficult. If you have a really good screenwriter that can actually, give a good summation of what needs to be given and start a foundation for the movie to kind of springboard from, then it really will work. But most movies that are made from books, I personally think a lot of them usually are lacking in the foundation area of what made the book so great. And so it's kind of like, okay, and even if it's made into a limited series, I mean, like now we have limited series on, whatever, Netflix, Hulu, whatever. Or if it's made into, a TV show, some of the stuff, it just springboards, goes on. And if the story is able to be extended, then I get it. But some stuff is just kind of like, I would rather actually just do the book instead of seeing a movie or a TV show about it, because some stuff is just like, I feel like they miss it and it doesn't make sense when they do it because they don't give enough backstory. So that's about that. I like to garden. That is still true. I do like to garden. I definitely don't. And I just did. Oh, mate, look at that. I just did posted a video, I think this week, or yeah, it was this week. About Giving of Thanks Day shopping and shopping for veggies and stuff like that. And I was saying that I need to start a garden again. So yes, where I am staying at, unfortunately, so I stay in a great neighborhood, y'all, but we have a lot of rabbits over here. I don't know what happened. If somebody had a rabbit, got out, and they just, did what rabbits do, and they everywhere. When I say everywhere, everywhere. So I had started some seedlings and sat them outside so I could start, so they can start sprouting roots and stuff like that. Or letting the roots grow out, because it was seedlings. They already had some roots, but let them grow out so I could actually start some plants and stuff like that. These rabbits, when I tell you, came up on my porch, ate my stuff, turned the jars over. I was like, oh, okay. So yeah. And our temperature has been back and forth, and the way our house sits, it doesn't actually get like enough light for it to really be for me to be able to grow stuff really well. So I'm trying to figure out an above ground type of situation to be able to, you know, so the rabbits can't get to it, because I'm trying to hang it kind of, I saw something on Pinterest where I could hang it on the side of, like on the side of the house where it would actually get enough sunlight and stuff like that. And it would be raised enough to where the rabbits couldn't get to it or whatever. So, but then I also have to think about the squirrels too, y'all. So I'm trying to figure out what I can do, because I really do want to do another garden. So, said, I feel like I would lose it if I don't listen to some music within an hour of waking up. I don't know if I'll necessarily lose it, but it's like second nature for me now, y'all. Like when I wake up, I pray, read my daily scripture, and it's probably within 20 minutes of me waking up that I usually am listening to some type of music. Whatever I'm feeling at that point in time, be it jazz, classical, throw on some gospel, if I want to hear some R&B, neo soul, whatever. Sometimes rap. And now I ain't talking about the rap of the day, because I really don't know anybody, and I feel like at this point now I've reached that age where I be like, who is that? What y'all listening to? I'm that auntie at this point, y'all, because I really don't know any of the rap artists of the day, unfortunately, because that's just not that ain't where I'm at, really. Some stuff I'm sure it sounds great, but some stuff I'm just like, okay, yeah, no, I'm good. So, but yeah, I definitely do listen to music within an hour of waking up. That has not changed. I own at least 75 to 100 bottles of nail polish. So, some of you know that, and some of you don't, but you're first to find out, I am a licensed nail technician. So that's the reason why I had 75 to 100 bottles. I've actually since then tossed a lot of them just because I wasn't using them and they, got old or whatever. And some I've, bought new polishes and stuff like that. I don't believe I have 75 anymore. I would say I would have a good 40 to 50 at this point, between 40 and 50 bottles of polish still. And that's just because I do paint my nails and change colors and do different things with them quite often. So yeah. I like sneakers, but I only own 3 pair. So that has changed. I still like sneakers. I only have 1 pair of sneakers now, actually. I actually have downsized a lot of stuff. So when you move in with somebody and you have limited space, you realize what you really need. So the pair of sneakers that I have is just really wear all everywhere. I have 3 pair of boots, and I have a lot of sandals, and then I still have my heels that I wear, but I haven't really gone shoe shopping, which I used to love to do, because I would actually give my shoes away and take them to like the Jesus House or give them to the Salvation Army or whatever to donate them after I've worn them a while, just to be able to bless somebody or whatever. And if I wore some shoes and I really didn't like them after I bought them, I would donate those too. I'm that person. I'm not going to just hold on to stuff just to hoard it. If I can't wear it or utilize it, I'm going to give it to somebody who can. So that has changed. I definitely am probably at some point next year going to buy me some more sneakers. And now the sneakers, I might actually do that before the end of the year. But yeah, I want to buy me some more sneaks and, keep it pushing. I want to be a hacker. So some of you know, some of you don't know this as well. I started school when I was going to college. The few times that I've gone, I wanted to do computer programming. But the first time when I really wanted to go, that was when I was in my early 20s. I had enrolled in school. They actually ended up canceling the class, like after we had like maybe 2 classes in, because they didn't have enough participation, because a lot of people ended up dropping the class. And so the professor, I think they only had one, and he was already kind of stretched thin. So they canceled the class that I had because I was a single mother at the time, single parent. The other times that they were offering the class for me to switch over to was during the times that I had to work. So I was not able to complete that, but I was very much interested in doing it. And I've still been kind of interested in getting back into it, but I don't know yet. We just see. I really am into graphic design more now, but I do still want to be a hacker, amazingly enough. At some point in time, I would love to be able to, if I could, go to school to learn about computer programming and stuff, I definitely probably would do so. If I could eat ice cream every day and still be healthy, I would. So, I still love sweets to a certain extent. I love ice cream. It's probably my favorite indulgence, but I don't eat it as much as I used to, which is probably good because I'm not, so I can lose weight. But I love ice cream, but I like now, so since I don't eat it as much, I buy those pints and stuff, and I always like generally get Ben and Jerry's now, or since the pandemic happened, I actually like had only bought Ben and Jerry's for like the entire year of 2020, and I think most of 2021. I only bought Ben and Jerry's because I wanted to support businesses that were supporting Black people. So I only bought them as far as ice cream is concerned because I didn't know any Black owned ice cream brands or anything, and there may be some now. I have to look into that. I do follow Target While Black, so I can find the Black products that they sell, because Target is my store. Target, y'all got to get into it. But I shop there for most of my everyday household items and stuff like that. So I do try to support Black owned businesses, and Target carries a lot of them in different stores here in Oklahoma. So I try to support those as well, getting stuff. So if I find a Black owned ice cream brand, then I will definitely check it out and see, do it, tell y'all how it is. But yeah, ice cream I love. I do Ben and Jerry's, and sometimes I do Talenti as well, the gelato. But again, because I don't eat it as much, which is good, I take a few bites and stuff like that, and it can last me. So that's the really good thing. Now, there are times that I may actually, eat half a pint in one sitting because I might be stressed or something. But generally, I don't. I can't even remember the last time I did that, just because, it's just a lot of sugar, so I try not to do that. But those are 10 interesting things about me from 2015. I may update that list and do 10 interesting things about me at the end of 2022, and we'll see that. So I'm going to end this video by giving you just a little encouragement and letting you know that you are needed, you are wanted, and you are loved. I wrote this down, and I think this was before 2015. And I referenced myself, and I was writing to myself, and I called myself a butterfly in winter. And I told myself, and I'm telling you now, you are rare, you are exquisite, you're unique, you are priceless. Like the diamond that's still a rock, I'm willing to work to see you shine. So I hope you take that and know that you are a butterfly in winter as well. I love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in once again, and know that you are beautiful, you are desirable, you're wanted, and you are loved. If by no one else but me, I love you. So I will talk to you guys soon. Hope you've enjoyed the video. And always, if you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the DM or leave comments below. And I will get back to you soon. Talk to y'all later. Deuces.